Good morning, friends. So I'm just out here doing chores, feeding the animals. Yes, foghorn. Hi, boys. How y'all doing? Got plenty of hay. How's your water? Yep, you're good on water. Goodness gracious, y'all. We are in the second half of October. Almost to the final third of October, maybe actually already there. And it's gonna be 90 degrees today. Y'all, where is autumn? Good grief. It's kind of ridiculous. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So as most of y'all know, or I mentioned, I think, that I had family who'd come in from out of town. My parents were here visiting, and it had been about 2 years since I had been able to see them. Watch out. So we had a really nice visit. They were here for a few days. This morning they're on their way back home to the Wisconsin-Illinois state line area, which is where I grew up. So they're headed off there. And then last night, probably about, I don't know, maybe an hour after my parents left, you see this truck here? We had someone else arrive. Good friend from Alabama came in because he and Mr. Smith are going to be doing a little hunting. And if they are successful, and I really hope they are, because Mr. Smith has been wanting to do one of these hunting trips forever. And it costs a lot of money. But this is kind of like his dream thing to do. He's never done it. But if he is successful, he's going to be coming home with elk. So that means I'm going to need to go through my freezer this week. I'm going to need to do a little bit of rearranging. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to start making some room, which means I'm going to be doing some meat canning because we've still got a whole lot of beef in there from the half cow that we bought. But I would say that that's a good problem to have. And also, you know, we have so much meat in the freezer, and I'm always concerned about power outages or appliance failure, which we've had happen before. And so having a reliance upon electricity for all of this food storage, all of this expensive food storage, it always makes me uneasy. And so, like I said, we're going to be doing some meat canning in the next few days. Matter of fact, I'll probably go out there and start inventorying and pulling stuff out to thaw today. Friends, I'm happy to be partnering with Sanctified Supply Company. They are the people who make all of those great Biblical Feast t-shirts that you often see me wearing, and several more of the shirts that I have. You can find the link to their website in the video description down below and check out all of the things that they make. And when you shop there, you can save 10% if you use my discount code, Cornbread. Go check them out. All right, friends, so the other day I was filming about starting a slow cooker roast beef, and in that I mentioned that I get a subscription box from Israel, and there were some people who were curious about it, and it just so happens that I think it was like the very next day I received my next box. So I thought I would go ahead and show you what was in here. Now, I've seen a couple different subscription boxes out there from Israel. This one is called Lev Ha'olam. And we did already open the box, and we did pull out one of the things that came in this particular box for this month. And this was these little, they call them cookies, but really they're more like granola clusters, I would describe them as. With nuts and seeds and just tasty little bits. So this is one of the things that came in this box. Now, all of these boxes support small businesses in Israel and all of that. So you're supporting people who live there. So I'm just going to bring the camera over here and show you what else is in here. So every month the box has kind of a theme. The last one that I received was all pomegranate stuff, and it was like pomegranate jelly and just everything pomegranate, a pomegranate skin balm, just all sorts of things. And pomegranates were because it was for the Rosh Hashanah theme. So this month, it's Magen David, which is translated as Star of David because of the symbol's resemblance to a star. The actual translation is Shield of David, the shield that protects from harm. So this month's theme is the Shield of David. All right, so we've got, like I said, the little cookie box. There's usually some sort of treat in these boxes. It varies from month to month. Let's see, we've got a little jewelry box here, it looks like. Let's see. Pure Love jewelry. Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. It's the Shield of David, and you've got the nation of Israel there in the middle of it. Alright, we've got a little bag here. Let's see, it says Shield of David cards. So it says that these are hand-painted mandalas, Magen David mandalas. They were hand-painted by artists from the city of Safed, Gonin, and Efrat Halavi. And then there's words of inspiration woven into them. So these are pretty. Oh, shalom. What does that say? Pray for the well-being of Jerusalem. May those who love you be at peace. May there be peace in your walls, serenity in your palaces. Psalm 122, 6 through 7. So it looks like there's a whole stack of these. All right. Next, we've got a salad mix. What is this? Sunflower seeds, cashews, almonds, pumpkin seeds, herbal spices. Nice. So this is something that you would sprinkle on top of a salad. So a salad topper. What's this box? Dates. So we've got Israeli dates. Here we've got a foaming face wash. There. And we have some face serum, and these are both from the brand called Arbel, an Israeli brand. Okay. And then right here is the last thing in this box. We've got, oh, coffee. Can't go wrong with coffee. It says, saving family farms one sip at a time, Agro Cafe. So I started getting this several months ago, and I enjoy it. I've gotten some pretty interesting things. I've gotten pottery pieces. I've gotten all sorts of things from there, including up here on my shelf, this little pottery olive oil bottle. This is actually one of the things that came, actually this one came in my very first box that I got from them. So, you got it? Now, I'm not affiliated with these people at all, but I know I had people who were curious about it, so I just thought I would share with all of you one of the boxes that I got. Alright y'all, so I'm out here looking through my freezers, thinking about the things that I can work on getting out of here. And right now I'm actually working on a case of potatoes. I bought a great big case of frozen potatoes from Asia Standard. Currently in my freeze dryer I've got a whole bunch of these going, and I'm going to be one by one doing all of these. I've got 4 gallon size bags still to go, so that'll help with a lot of space in the freezer. I've got down here a case of French fries, so that's taken up a lot of space, but that's not something that I would freeze dry or anything like that. We work our way through those. I've got a bunch of cheese, things like that. I do have, I think, I've got going down in here, you can't really see it, but I've got a whole stack of ground beef. And then I've got more in our other freezer that we bought when we got the cow. I'm thinking it's going to be a lot of ground beef because we don't have very many more steaks or roasts left, but we had so much of that half cow turned into ground beef that I've got it for days. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with ground beef. That just makes the most sense. So I've got a basket here, and I'm just going to start pulling out ground beef. Now my canner, my 921, All-American 921, can hold 19 regular mouth pint jars. So I'm going to plan on filling that whole thing up. So that means 19 pint jars, 19 pounds of ground beef. But I'll go ahead and pull out 20 just in case I can squeeze a little more in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So 20 pounds of ground beef from our half cow that we bought from a local farm. know the farmer, know your food. So now all I'm going to do is lay this all out so it can start thawing out. And then tomorrow this will be thawed and I will work on getting all of this canned. So I will share canning all of this ground beef and take you through the process in my next video. You know, it's been a very busy couple of weeks. This past week, you know, like I mentioned, we had family visiting from out of town, and I generally don't film when we have visitors. I find that I much prefer to be present, and not everybody is comfortable being in front of a camera and things like that. But my parents and I and the family all had a great visit. It was really nice seeing them. Like I mentioned, it had been about 2 years since I last saw them, and I really hate to go that long without seeing them. And so hopefully it's nowhere near that next time. But leading up to them coming, we had been busy just doing stuff around here. General tidying up and things that had been needing to get done. One day we had a rotten tree come down by the creek bed and landed across our footbridge, and so we went out there and Mr. Smith cut that down, and little Miss being supervised, of course. Stay right there, young lady. I see you. You ready to work? Good job. And then yesterday we were out doing chores, and she decided she needed to supervise with that as well. You going on a hayride? Say cheese. Now that's what I call a hayride. I'll push her when we get back up. What do you see? What? Huh? All right. Ready? There you go. Woo! So, like I mentioned, I'm going to be working on canning things out of the freezer. Well, canning and freeze drying and doing all the things to make as much room as possible, because hopefully Mr. Smith will be coming home with some stuff. He went with an elk tag, a mule deer tag, and small game tag. So between all of those things, he should be coming home with something, but I really hope it's elk because I love the taste of elk. I've only had it a couple times in my life. We've never really lived any place that had elk. Now, I think they might exist in southern Alaska, I'm not sure. But when we lived in Alaska, we were up in the central part, in the Fairbanks area, and I don't recall there being any elk there. I do know there was caribou, and caribou is delicious, and we had Dall sheep, which was also delicious, and of course moose. We had lots of moose. But elk is not ever something that we had in our freezer unless we bought it, like from Asia Standard. I've ordered elk before. I'm really hoping for Mr. Smith's sake and for our freezer's sake that he does come home with something. But I hope it's an elk, and I think he's got a really good shot because one of his really good friends who's already there at the camp sent him a video yesterday morning of elk outside the window walking around the yard of the cabin where they're at. So it sounds like the prospects are good. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and grab out some baking sheets, spread all this out so that it can start thawing. And in my next video, we will be canning all this stuff up. So that is it today, friends. Thanks for spending some time with me. I'll talk to y'all next time.